Good morning, everybody. Today's adventure is going to bring us to Brockton, Massachusetts, and we're going to go see the marvelous Marvin Hagler statue that they are unveiling today. I got to keep an eye on my dogs. They're trying to dig under the fence. But anyways, Marvin Hagler was a champion of the world. He fought from 1973 to 1987. He was the middleweight champion of the world. He went down in history as one of the greatest middleweight champions that ever lived. He's in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. His last fight in 1987, he lost to Sugar Ray Leonard. Some people say that he won that fight. Others say he lost. He was champ of the world from 1980 to 1987. He became an actor when he retired. He moved to Italy. And he did a lot of movies in Italy, so he was quite well known. And he then eventually moved back, and he moved, I believe, to Hanover, Massachusetts. Then he left Hanover, Massachusetts. He got divorced, and he met his wife, Kay Hagler, and they got married. And he moved to Bartlett, New Hampshire, which is up by North Conway. It's quite a distance up there from Brockton. He was born in New Jersey but moved to Brockton when he was 15 years old and was being bullied at Brockton High School. So he went to a gym to learn how to fight. And years later, he became one of the greatest middleweight champions that ever lived. So they're going to unveil a statue in Brockton dedicated to Marvin Hagler. The other champion of the world that was from Brockton was Rocky Marciano. But today it's going to be Marvin Hagler's Day. They named a street after Marvin Hagler's trainers, the Petronelli brothers, Goody and Pat Petronelli. I used to fight for Goody and Pat Petronelli. I was a professional fighter myself, and I did spar Marvin Hagler. And I had quite a bit more amateur fights than I did professional fights. I actually fought from the age of 6 until I was 19. Then I came back when I was 24 and turned pro because I took 4 years off to go to school. And then I fought, my last fight was at Resorts International in Atlantic City in 1987. But I'm watching my dogs trying to escape here. But get out of there, Bella. But so that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to yell at my dogs. That's what we're going to do today is we're going to go see the statue and the unveiling of Marvin Hagler. And the mayor's going to be there, and Marvin's wife and his family's going to be there. And so I'll see you there. All right.
Okay, yeah, I
The dinner is right there. It's Kay Hagler, Marvin Hagler's wife. Well, from behind, anyway.
How you doing? Good to see you. Oh, I like it. Good to see you. It's been a good race.
Kay Hagler.
Hi, Marty Full. I used to spy your husband way back in the day in the 80s.
Over at that gym over here. So I used to spar him on the Main Street one, too.
So is Robbie coming?
I used to know the guy who
Should have picked him up.
It's very, very good.
All right.
Myron Fuller.
I guess she doesn't get along with Robbie Sims, Marvin's half brother, because she was not happy when I mentioned his name.
Oh, Gabriel. Oh, yeah, I didn't see him. Your dad went to his, right?
My father wants real shit. For no reason.
Join us here today. Thank you, Dino.
You don't went to Fermo. Hey, Marvin, all you can handle.
People have said to me today,
Looks good for his
Bob, why did you choose today, June 13th? And it was simple. This was the day in 1993 when Marvelous Marvin Hagler was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. So that is why we've chosen today to memorialize and remember Marvelous Marvin. So before we move on with the ceremony, I just wanted to give you some personal thoughts as a kid that grew up in the 80s here in Brockton. And I was fortunate to actually attend some of Marvelous Marvin's exhibitions at Massasoit Community College, also at Brockton High in the gym, where he did some exhibitions as well. My dad took me to that. And then when he decided to open up a store down the street, I stood in line for 4 hours to meet Marvelous Marvin, have him autograph a poster, meet Bo Derek from Hollywood, and another guy, Gregory Harrison, who was on a TV show, Trapper John MD. But I also played community school basketball with Junior, Marvin's son. And I told this story the other day. We played at Hancock School Community Basketball League. We weren't on the same team, but we did a league trip into the old Boston Garden. And we all met at Hancock School. We all jumped on a bus to go see the Harlem Globetrotters at the Garden. And I was there with my dad, and right next to me was Junior and his dad. And honest to God, it was the champ, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. But that day, he was there just as a father. And the only difference between him and my dad, we sat up on the rafters, and you remember the old Garden, we were way up in the nosebleed sections. The only difference was, right before halftime, they asked Junior's dad to go down on the parquet. And he was in the middle of the Lucky the Leprechaun, and they honored him as the champ, and I'll never forget that. And he just jumped back on the bus with us afterwards, and he was just Junior's dad again. But I'll say one thing about Marvelous Marvin. He never forgot where he came from. So today, he is not here physically, but he is here in spirit. And I have to also give a shout out to a dear woman that passed, May Lang, Marvin's mom. May Lang, I had the honor as the mayor of Brockton to share a couple dinners with May and sit next to her over at the annual scholarship event. And I'm a proud Brocktonian here in the City of Champions. Thank you. I am here today as the mayor of the City of Brockton, and on behalf of 106,000 residents, today we honor proudly one of our own, the late, great, undisputed middleweight champ, the best middleweight champ in the history of boxing, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. I want to thank his wife, Kay Hagler, for being here today. I want to thank the Hagler family for being here today. I want to thank a lot of Marvelous Marvin's friends that have traveled back home to Brockton. I want to thank the incomparable Chief of Staff, Sidney Merrill, my Chief of Staff, who really spearheaded today. We designated a wonderful committee, the Statute Committee, and you'll be hearing more about that from the Chief of Staff, Sidney Merrill, in just a moment. But I want to just give a shout out because this would not have happened without a collaboration of elected officials, local and state. I want to give a special thanks to State Representative Jerry Cassidy. Thank you, Representative. I want to thank State Representative Michelle Dubois, State Representative Rita Mendez, Senator Mike Brady. We have a wonderful delegation here in the City of Brockton. We're also joined by State Representative and former boxing champ Kip Dix. Thank you for being here today, Rep. Here today at the Marvelous Marvin Hagler Park. It's a designated park in the City of Brockton. You're on a new street, Marvelous Marvin Hagler Way here in the City of Brockton. So without the help of our City Council, the street and the park wouldn't be here. So I want to give a shout out and a special thanks to all 11 members on the City Council, led by former mayor, Councilor Lives, the current city council president, Moses Rodriguez. I want to thank Wynn Farwell, David Texera, Gene Bradley Durancourt, Tom Minicello, Maria Tavares, Phil Griffin, Susan Nicastro, Jeffrey Thompson, and this is Councilor Thompson's ward here in Ward 5, and he's been an unbelievable advocate on this endeavor. I want to thank Councilor Jack Lally and Councilor Shirley Azak as well. I also want to thank our other local elected officials, school committee members. Again, we're all in this as a team, right? And that's one thing. Brockton is a team. We're a winning team. Losing and losing is not even in our vocabulary. Tony Rodriguez, the school committee vice chair, Jorge Vega, Claudio Gomes, Anna Oliver, Judy Sullivan, Joyce Azak, and Tim Sullivan. I want to thank them all for what they do each and every day. Now, about 2 weeks ago, this didn't exist. So I want to thank Commissioner of DPW, Pat Hill, and the wonderful DPW team and employees that contribute to this unbelievable endeavor. And on the park side, the director of the parks department, Tim Carpenter, and his team as well. They will be maintaining this in perpetuity. This will forever, as of today, be known as Marvelous Marvin Hagler Park. I want to thank the District Attorney, Tim Cruz, Plymouth County DA, Tim Cruz is here today as well. We also have 2 elected local officials that serve school committee on the Southeastern Regional Vocational Technical High School. When we think about Marvelous Marvin Hagler and Brockton, I remember him coming up to Summerfest, which is, if you're as old as me, we used to do it every year up at Brockton High. And he'd walk around Summerfest and he'd have a Sharpie in his hand. He'd sign anything and everything for any little kid. It didn't matter. It did not matter. And then later on in life, when we honored the Petronelli brothers, Goody and Pat, I remember him coming over to George's Cafe on Belmont Street, still had that Sharpie in his hand, signing autographs, not just for boys and girls, but it didn't matter, anybody and everybody. If you had posters or Sports Illustrated or boxing gloves, he didn't care, he just signed it. That's what he was, right? But that's what Brockton is. So we are on Marvelous Marvin Hagler Way, and people had said to me again, Mayor, when we came to fruition with this, you know, where are you going to put it? Rocky's statue, and again, Rocky's statue is up at the stadium, and it was a gift for the World Boxing Council to the city of Brockton. But this is a gift from the state, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, because of Jerry Cassidy and delegation getting us $150,000, right? And what I said was, I only know one place, fitting tribute. And they said, where's that? And I said, when I was a boy, it was called Ward Street. Now it's called Petronelli Way. Marvin would run up and down here because that building right there was Petronelli Brothers Gym. That building right there was where he trained to become a champ. So again, we are here today to think about Marvelous, the human being. He was a gentleman outside of the ring, but he was a beast inside that ring. If you wanted to box, he'd box, but if you wanted to slug, he'd go at it. And he wouldn't stop, right? The 3 rounds against Hearns was the absolute best 3 rounds in the history of boxing. Not just middleweight, in the history of boxing. So when we talk about the undisputed middleweight champ of the world, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, from 1980 to 1987, 12 successful title defenses, 11 by KO. 11 by KO. And so why I mention that is Brockton, you know, we're not a wealthy community when you look at a financial ledger. What our wealth is the people of Brockton, the people that get knocked down and get back up, the people that are committed to dedication for a better life, and that's what Marvin Hagler did. And in the ring, if you knocked him down, you weren't going to knock him out, that's for sure. He was going to get back up, and he was going to be slugging, coming right back at you, right? Throwing the left, throwing the right. He was a southpaw, but he could naturally switch, and we saw him against Hearns do that. So today, I thank you for being here, but I really want to thank Rep. Cassidy, because when I originally...
of the City of Champions, Brockton, Massachusetts. We are not just proud, we are honored to have such a remarkable figure associated with us, a figure who has left an indelible mark on our community and our hearts. He was marvelous. In closing, I'm a preacher, so I got to give you a little word. There is a biblical narrative text in the book of John, and the question rings out, is there any good thing that can come out of Nazareth? The reply was, come and see. This morning, I would like to rephrase that question and ask you, is there any good thing that can come out of Brockton, Massachusetts? And if you know, can you shout yeah? The answer is astounding yes. A left-hander, southpaw middleweight champion of the world, a world and international boxing Hall of Famer, philanthropist, humanitarian, actor, our hometown hero. This statue behind me will be a testimony to future boys and girls and Brocktonians about the importance of hard work, dedication, and perseverance. He was simply marvelous Marvin Hagler.
That was Marvin. That was him. I mean, listen, I want to thank the man. I want to thank everybody for Jerry. I want to thank Sydney for did an unbelievable job on this. It's amazing the work that she did, but I want to thank you all for coming to this marvelous dedication of one of the greatest boxers of all time. And my friend. Okay, I might get emotional. All right, relax. I love the man. Undisputed middleweight champion of the world, marvelous Marvin Hagler. I met him when I was 19 years old. My dad, John, who he was very close with, introduced me at the restaurant next to the tuxedo store. My first exchange was, and he wasn't that older than me, but I don't know for what. Hello, Mr. Hagler. My father's told me a lot about you. That first exchange grew into a lifelong friendship where he got to know my entire family, and he became just Marvin to us. He shared important family times with us, with his wife Kay, and throughout, he kept us connected by sharing moments of his life. Like the time, this is just random, phone call comes in, he wore one of our tuxedos for a commercial. He called like excited, because he was always excited. Hey, John, do you know where I am? I'm like, no, Marv, where are you? He's like, well, I'm doing a commercial in Atlanta, and I'm wearing one of your tuxedos. You see, he always made an effort to make us a part of his experiences, Paul and I. I mean, he always would make time just to be a part of his experience.
Where's Tiger Moore? Tiger Moore?
I became very good, you know, after we fought twice, I became very good friend of him. As you know, he moved to Italy. And I was there, I didn't even know he was there, but I went there back in 1990.
Vito Antifermo fought Hagler twice.
And of course, when I went there, all the papers were writing by me, and he found out I was there. At the time, he was living in Naples. I was in Rome filming that film. One day, I get a call in my hotel room that he wanted a part there. I tried everything to have him in a movie with me, but they couldn't, because they already had the script written, so they couldn't change the script. They said, we can't do it. But I had a pleasure of hanging out with him for about a couple of weeks in Rome back in 1990. That's when we filmed The Godfather Part 3. So I became even better. I was a friend with him anyway, before that. But I only knew him as a fighter. But when I was in Italy, I was with him a couple of weeks. I hung out with him. I felt like I became a brother of his. Not only was he a great fighter, but he had a great personality too. Thank you, guys.
Vito Antifermo.
Mr. Antifermo and his girlfriend traveled from New York here to come here today to Brockton. That speaks a lot about Vito Antifermo. So again, thank you so much for being here today.
Marvin's wife.
Hi. It's nice to be here today and see all of you. They show how much love. Because I don't meet the fighter, I meet the person. I meet the man. very unique. He was one of the kind. He was a very beautiful person, and I miss him a lot. But today is his day, it's a special day, and we have to celebrate him, only him. And I can't wait the way he look like. I don't know, I want to see it. So, but I want to thank everybody to be here, and I know that he watched and he loved that because he loved people. And you know, I wish he was here today. It's not. But thank you very much.
Marvin Hagler.
Yeah,
I like it.
love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it tags you with that, you're out.
Let's go. Come on.
Yes, family.
Yeah. Everybody got his family.
That's Hagler's family, they can go in.
Yeah,
That's Hagler's
that's my
family.
that's my father. This is my brother. That's my father. That's my brother. Come on. I'm waiting for that. Come this way. Come this way. It's okay. You all right? Yeah, that's no problem. What happened?
John, let's
Yeah, the family can come in. Yeah, come on in. Come on.
Family,
Family.
They got these Marvin Hagler shirts.
Family, come on in. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you guys.
No problem. Come on, Tracy. Come on.
It's well deserved.
My nephew. Yeah.
Here he is.
I'll be there. Come on, nephew. Yeah, she's with us too. All right, that's us.
Anyone else in that ticket?
That's us.
Come on. All right.
Jordan.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm fine. Jordan. Andre, you have enough photos?
Let's just take
Good job, buddy. Love the statue. Love it.
No. You can. You're okay. Come on. Whoops, sorry.
Right now, you guys have to please.
I think that's what And there it is. There's the statue. I'm so sorry. That's the guy who used to spar on what used to be Ward Street. I spotted him on Main Street.
Yeah, it is. All right, come on.
Looks like him.
Let's go.
It does not. it must be tough with metal, you know what I mean? It does, you know, more or less. It looks more like Ruben Hurricane Carter than it does him.
Yeah, that's
His idol was.
You ready?
It's the chief of police.
There you go. There you go. Oh, I got this way. There you go.
Look at the eyebrow.
Coming through. That's Kay Hagler, that's Marvin's wife. And that's Marvin's son.
All right.
That's your smile. That's your smile. That's my smile.
You must be a Hagler. You look like Marvin. So back in the 80s when I used to fight, and I used to go up to this gym where Marvin Hagler trained, that gym right there, this whole area looks different. It used to be, for lack of a better word, Skid Row. It was bad. But now look at it. They really built it up. Looks nice. Looks good. Yeah. Even that building right there, that's Petronelli's gym. Used to be. Where Marvin Hagler trained. Now they've got everything. Now it looks nice. Yeah. Wasn't that way when I was here. Now they got the Hagler.
They fight all at once. 18 fighters.
Yep, this is where I used to fight. 1987, this is where I trained with Marvin Hagler. And it wasn't such a nice building back then. It is now. But back then it wasn't so nice. It was really a rat trap. But it's a beautiful building now. The whole area they made beautiful. Yep, this was a really rundown area. Now, they made it nice. And this is Petronelli Way. Right here, this is Petronelli Way. They made a Petronelli Way. It was Ward Street. And this is Marvin Hagler Way right over here. So, and the Marvin Hagler statue's down there. So, this was it. This is where I used to fight, 1985, 86, 87. Right up there. That was the gym. Marvin Hagler used to train up there. Kevin McBride. Steve Collins, a lot of champions. Long time ago. I miss my youth.
And folks, I'm home. It's dark. I'm tired. It was a long day at the Marvin Hagler statue unveiling. And it's time for me to say goodnight. I appreciate everybody watching the video. If you get a like, leave a comment. I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. And with that being said, I'm asleep, practically, and so isn't my dog. So with that, I'll see you in the next video. Over and out.